Our stories don't just need to be heard, they need to be celebrated. Hi, everyone, I'm your host, Queen Latifah. We're coming together to celebrate and fuel the creativity that has always been a part of our culture. In 2018, I worked with P&G to launch a program for female film directors of color called the Queen Collective. It's a collaboration aimed at increasing the gender and racial equality of directors working in both entertainment and advertising. We need to see ourselves not just on screen, but behind the camera as well. That's exactly why my company, Flavor Unit, P&G, and Tribeca Studios are doing this program. Let's take a moment to celebrate these incredible filmmakers and the stories they've told. We had to start with just one specific thing: allow a woman of color to tell her story from idea to distribution.
Bone Black is about Black birth workers in the American South. For centuries has been a community of Black women keeping other Black women alive.
My film was inspired by my cultural upbringing. I'm half Puerto Rican and half Black West Indian.
My film is a documentary about a group of girls going through a historically Black summer camp.
Team Dream is about two women competing at the National Senior Games in the swim competition.
Gaps, it's about finding beauty in the imperfect, in that kind of awkward adolescence phase.
My film features Daisha McBride, who is a rap artist based in Nashville, Tennessee.
Being in the Queen Collective, I'm surrounded by beautiful, creative women, and we get to go on this journey together. We're about to go really hard now.
We're incredibly proud of the work that has been created so far and the relationships the Queen Collective has helped foster. Now we'll see some of these creations. Stories that highlight and question, narratives that deepen and inspire, and overall, films that support the aspiration to widen the screen, to widen our view of the joy, beauty, resilience, and richness of the Black experience. Our goal is to make sure we tell our own stories, the stories of strong women, people of color, the stories that matter most to us, and the stories that deserve to be celebrated. This film, created by Contessa Gayles, is one of the incredible documentary films in the Queen Collective.
Sierra's in our cabin too.
And so is Amara from last year.
I missed
you.
Oh, I see her. Wait, where?
What's that guy?
So, shouldn't we just share a bunk? Because I'm going to go on the top. You want to go on the bottom? Yeah, if it's easier, you can just go on the top and I'll just go on the bottom. Okay.
You're going to have a great time.
I can't stay. You're gonna have an amazing time, okay?
I came to camp because my mom thought it would be good for me to make some new friends in a new environment, in a new space, and to try something new.
When I came to camp, I was kind of nervous because I wanted to come back because I wanted to see all my friends and stuff and the people that I missed.
I came to camp because I feel like I would make great connections with people and just I could learn more about my culture.
All right, so welcome to Camp Founder Girls 2022, y'all, welcome! So, we know CFG was originally established on the east side of the city, and that is a historically Black part of town. History fact. Okay, so we are really proud about our East Side heritage at CFG, okay? So even though we're not on the East Side right now, we always got a rep, okay? So the way that this chant goes, all we say is, hey, hold up,
Any Texas people in here? Texas. Guys, low-key, we're the best state, but we won't tell the others. I think we have a Michigan in here. But anyways, guys, welcome to Camp Founder Girls. We're going to have a very fun week. We're going to have a good time with each other. Now, I know a lot of you are probably nervous. You know, these are going to be your friends. These are going to be your best friends this week, okay? So does anybody know when Camp Founder Girls started? 1924, awesome. Almost 100 years ago, y'all. It was the very first camp for black girls in the whole entire country, right here in San Antonio. That's why we love wearing our shirt that says 1924. We love to brag about our black history, right? Y'all, every single person in this room right here is a part of black history. Pat yourself on the back, say, I'm black history. Look at somebody beside you and say, you're black history. Miss Gaynor here is the biggest OG that we got. I want y'all to look at Miss Gaynor and say, Miss Gaynor, you're black history.
When I came upon this campus, I must say that I was in awe of the gigantism, the fact that it was so vast and beautiful and modern. And so I will be sharing some stories about where I came from and what I experienced back in the 50s. I was approximately 14 going on 15 when I entered the Camp Founder Girls from 1954 until 1959. Miss Maddie Landry is the founder of the Camp Founder Girls organization, which started in 1924. She was the talk of the town at that time. She started out with the intent of her girls being a part of the Campfire Girls organization. That was a white organization. And when she realized that she did not have the privilege of having her girls completely integrate in that environment, then she sought out to try to get property. She was able to purchase over 7 acres of land in Boerne, Texas.
What do you remember about camp?
It was rustic with a lot of trees and green grass. And there was a lake nearby. When we would go in to wade, I never learned how to swim, so I never went any more than up to my mid-thighs.
Yeah, that's swim test, bro. You gonna do it? You gotta do it with me, bro. If I'm doing it, you gotta do it. Oh, okay, and if you drown, I drown. Yep. No, it's not scary. Shoot.
Until I came to camp, I never knew that there was a bunch of girls who looked like me and who did a bunch of stuff that I do. And I love how we can share our experiences in order to come closer as one.
None of my sisters were Camp Founder Girls, just myself. By the time they were old enough to be Camp Founder Girls, the organization was phasing out. Miss Maddie Landry became ill, so this is why the organization did not continue after 1964. The Camp Founder Girls rebirth was in 2019, and I'd like for all of you who started and that was your first experience with the Camp Founder Girls back in 2019, would you please raise your hand so that you can be recognized or stand up? Just look around you. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate what you're doing.
Until I came to camp, I've never spent a long period of time away from my family and parents. And I never knew I could, be independent like that, spend the night away, because, I feel like I would have been having, an emotional breakdown, but I'm not.
CFG! What's up, y'all? Good morning. Does anybody know what the pillar of the day is? Let me know. Brave! Brave! So, what does it mean to be brave? Raise your hand.
To have courage.
To have courage? What does it mean to have courage?
To try things that you haven't done before or doing it again if you are scared of it.
So today we're going to be making sure that we are as brave as possible. This might be your very first time away from home. This might be your very first time at CFG. We're all in a new place. And being brave doesn't mean that you're not afraid. It just means that you don't quit.
Were you ever scared?
I'm afraid of snakes and scorpions and insects and reptiles, and they were prevalent in that area. When you think about challenges, that was really a challenge.
So wait until he stops. All right. Have you been on a horse before?
Never.
Oh, well,
I've seen.
I just got you the giant one. Never been on a horse, and we brought the biggest one out. There you go. Swing that leg over.
I blinked and
She's gone. You nervous? What are you nervous about?
I'm scared if the horse falls.
I promise you, Corella is one tough nugget. She's not going to fall. All right? I got you, Delaney, okay? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
All right. So, it's all right. So just bend down. You're going to put your left hand here.
I don't think I want to do it.
Do you want to try to sit down on her? I know it's a little nerve-wracking, right? I got you. You're not going to go anywhere. There you go. Perfect. You're doing perfect.
Yep, now sit down.
Okay. I'm not going to move her until you're ready, okay? You're okay. It's okay. You don't have to walk. I'm going to stand right here with you, okay? Deep breath. Deep breath. Look at me. You're okay. Relax all your weight into your butt. It's okay, Delaney. It's okay. Just take a deep breath before you get off, okay? There you go. Hey, Delaney, you did so awesome. You know what you did today? You sat on a horse. Is that your first time you've ever sat on a horse? That's a big deal. It was very brave of you.
So what we're going to do is take something that you wrote, something that makes you feel powerful, and you're going to turn around to yourself in the mirror. You're going to stand in the mirror. You have to look yourself in the eyes, and you're going to say, I love myself, and I am powerful because, okay? So you're going to say, I love myself.
I love myself. I love myself. I love myself.
And I am powerful because
I help people. I'm the best I can be. I'm powerful because I know that I belong.
Because of what I do each and every day.
I feel loved
and you're black. Yes.
Camp makes me feel like I'm at home just with other black girls my age.
Look at mine. Mine are black. Get them off my bed.
We talked a lot about just regular things that girls talk about. I did feel safe being around other African American girls. First of all, I did not have to worry about discrimination at the time. It was an all-black environment, and we had so much in common.
Before I came to camp, I never was around so many black girls because I lived in a white neighborhood, so there was nobody ever really my color. So here at camp, I have more black friends, more girls my color and more girls that kind of do the same things as me. We can talk about stuff that I can't talk about with my white friends, so that really felt good to try.
One time, I had my hair in a ponytail, and a boy walked up to me and asked me if I was a boy, and I said no, and they started laughing.
Yeah, I would say, like, kids your guys' age, unfortunately, are more cruel than normal, right? Kids are cruel. I'm sure you guys have experienced people saying things about your hair, your skin.
There was this one time that there was a boy and he was like, "Why is your hair always in braids?" And I was like, "Well, why do you want me to straighten it or what?" And he was like, "I want you to straighten it one time, at least once or twice." And I was like, "No, I don't want to straighten it, and you can't tell me what to do with my hair." So I didn't. So I walked away and slapped him with my braids by accident. I did not mean to do that.
You know that was not an accident.
Yeah, actually, no.
She gave him the hair whip. I love it. I love it.
I did.
So everybody get in a circle. Step in if you've ever straightened your hair with a straightener or your mom took a hot comb to your head.
Oh, I don't like that thing.
Ooh, me neither.
That's we have one, but I never use it because it's very scary. It's
Do your moms put the hot comb on the stove?
Yeah, that's what
That's
they used to do.
kids. That's 90s kids. Ooh, yeah, and you're like, please don't. Okay, step out.
Hurts me.
I'm so sorry. Okay, look at all your sisters that have the same experiences with their hair, right? Step in if you've ever been made fun of for a hairstyle that you have or have worn.
A teacher did it.
A teacher did it. Yeah, we're here. We've been there, right? Look at the people who are stepping in.
My best friend did it.
I'm sorry for all those whose hair has been made fun of. I know that's not fun at all.
Yeah. Okay, step out. Step in if you love your hair.
That should be all of us.
Wait, Moo, let me
Should be, but
Hey, it's okay if you don't love your hair right now. That's okay. After this activity, we hope you're more comfortable with it after.
You feel confident? Comfortable enough to explain why you love your hair? Can you share it with us?
Because it defines how I look and how I am. That expresses me and it shows my culture.
Anybody else want to try and explain why they love their hair?
I love my hair because of my curls. Like, I would never put like a little relaxer on my hair because I want to be all natural. So that's why I love my hair.
Like, I used to like it, but like my grandma, like last month, she kept like straightening it and I didn't want her to. Like every time we went to the hair salon, like she would like make me straighten it and I didn't want to. And then now my hair is like not how it used to be. So that's why I don't like it anymore.
That's really hard. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Cadence? Sometimes I feel like I don't know who I truly am. Or even more. Like sometimes I don't like my hair because it's too much hair or because I can't get it right. Like I can't get it to what I feel like.
The fact that you can express that means that you're so far ahead already. You guys have anything that you want to add?
I love my hair because I can put in any hairstyle, can add color, and basically I can do whatever I want with it.
I love that. Yes. I want you guys to go away from this thinking about how much you love your hair and celebrating it. Okay? All right. See?
I came to camp because I wanted to see what my potential was and what I could do.
Some of y'all visited our amazing pillar counselors yesterday, and they like to give a shout out to a camper that really showcased their particular pillar. So the first counselor we're gonna hear from is our confident counselor.
This camper not only showed that she was ready to be powerful, but also encouraged their cabin. And that's what we're looking for. This camper is You're welcome. You deserve it. High fives. High fives. So proud of you.
So for my returners, what do we give out to those that have that spirit?
The soul stick. The soul stick. The soul stick. The soul stick.
representing. When we call, y'all are loud, y'all are proud. So this is gonna be a chant off. To work with your cabin, come up with a chant.
Cabin 1, throw it up. Cabin 1, throw it up.
Like, make sure you go like,
Okay.
like do something to get in formation in the front. So how do we go up?
Come on.
All right, throw around. You gotta get creative.
Camp sounds like a bunch of kids having fun. There's always some kind of joy.
Camp sounds like chanting.
Okay, we got the stone clap. I'm glad we got the beat now. Go.
Big 8, yeah, we rock the place. Young black generation, and we're gonna be great. We're strong, we're brave and creative, yes. Now watch your confidence while you finish the rest.
We got the ochos, move. Ochos, ochos. We got the mochos.
Okay,
Yo,
let's
go this way.
going this way.
Whatever way you're going, say this word.
Really rock.
5, 6, 7, and 8. Their name is Knock.
So let's do, okay, ladies, now let's get information.
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, ladies, now let's get into formation. Hold on. Wait, let's go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, ladies, now let's get in formation.
What did you learn about yourself from being at camp?
Well, I realized I was shy and timid. My counselors, they would give us great ideas with which to live, companionship, good sportsmanship. And I think that that's going on here today.
Oh, Jesus.
I also realized that I had a sense of humor.
Now! Let's Jesus. Lord, my shoe! Oh, no, get back on.
I never knew how much confidence I had sitting inside of myself. Sometimes my self-confidence can be really, really low, but when I came to camp and made a bunch of new friends, I realized that I am definitely capable of more, and I've become more confident in my appearance and the way people think about me.
I learned that I'm really sensitive. I never knew like that I could be myself around my friends before I came to camp. If you do come here, just be yourself and express who you are, especially as Black individuals, because the media doesn't really portray us in a different way. You just have to be yourself and be confident about who you are.
Ow. CFG! CFG!
All right, now we're gonna go through and do our chants. I'm really excited to see what y'all bring today. Who's gonna get the Get off with a lot of energy. She was a founder, a Black girls camp. We came to stay, we came to slay, and no, we don't play. Who are we? Cabin 6. Who are we? Cabin 6. Who do we rap? CFG. Certified G. 7 days a week. Make your cabin look weak. Your cabin ain't that fly, you need to cut it. Your cabin not that sick, you need to cut it. Cut it. Big 8, yeah, we rock the place. Yo, Black generation, and we're gonna be great. We're strong, we're brave and creative, yes. So watch your confidence as we finish the race. We got the ochos, ochos, ochos. We got the ochos, ochos, ochos. We got the woo, 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 woo. Okay. I got hot sauce in my bag. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, ladies, now let's get in formation. S-E to the B-E-N. We're 7. Yeah, we're cabin 7. Slay! Slay, sister. Yeah, slay.
everybody should be listening because this is really important. This cabin came out the gate swinging. Came out the gate hype. They brought the energy. And all I can say, y'all know what's stuck in my head? We rocking Ocho. Ocho.
Whose bunk is this?
I came to camp because my mom thought it would be good for me, but now I see that it's more than that. It's like I have a bunch of friends now that I didn't even think were going to end up being my friends until I started to get to know them, and now I'm friends with my entire cabin.
I do remember there was a lot of camaraderie. I still am friends with those same young ladies today. Lifelong friends for sure. I'm 82 years old, and I can look back and really see that the camp had a deep impression on my life because I've always been involved with service, raising funds for scholarship for girls and women.
3, 2, 1.
Until I came to camp, I never knew that I was strong, brave, creative, just like the pillars.
Till I came to camp, I never knew. I didn't know I can be, like, phenomenal.
Give it up for Contessa Gayles, a brilliant filmmaker, and her team. BET and PNG are showing up for Black creators both behind the camera and on the screen.
In honor of the Centennial of Camp Founder Girls, filmmaker Contessa Gayles returns to tell stories that exude the 4 pillars of the organization: strong, brave, creative, and confident. Her film and the Queen Collective embody these very traits. Camp Founder Girls Centennial Special starts now.
We spent a lot of time outside of this church, Ephesus, south and north.
And it was St. Joseph's AME Church.
Right.
Founded
That's the marker.
1950.
And so we actually spent most of our time on this street.
Played all kinds of games. Hopscotch.
Yes, jacks. We would jump rope.
Jump rope.
And eat.
And eat.
That store across the street over there is where we got a lot of dill pickles. Peppermint in our pickles.
Peppermint in the pickles.
Yes.
It may seem like a long time ago, but to us it seems like yesterday.
We go way back. Way, way back.
We are Camp Founder Girls from the 50s. I'm 80.
And I'm 84.
And I'm 83.
CFG Centennial on YouTube.
I became a member of the Camp Founders Girls that summer of 55. And Gaynell and I met in junior high school.
And I think I had been in camp the year before they got in. So I was a Camp Founder Girl first because I was the oldest.
Yes. Ruby and I were cabin mates. And then let me tell you that there are 2 young ladies that were counselors to all of us, and that was Gussie Milholland Wilson and Gwendolyn Chapman. And those ladies were the ones that were like big sisters, and they supervised us and kept us in line.
I don't exactly remember the year, summer it was, but I was about 10 years old, and I arrived at Camp Elvira, and I stayed until I was about the second year of college. That's me. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
For black girls, it wasn't very much you could do outside of going to school and church. This was our outside activity, and we really enjoyed it because it was different from anything else we did. Right. And black girls grew up in very structured homes, and our parents were usually very strict. And when we would come to camp, we felt more free to do things we wanted to do.
Did you all know at the time, or I don't know if you even know today, that this is known as the first summer camp for black girls in the entire country?
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
That's news to me.
News to me.
How does that make you feel to learn?
Makes us feel really, really. And here we sit.
Here I am again. That's Miss Landry. I don't know where my mother found the name Maddie Landry and the Camp Founders Girl, but she did, and I'm glad she did.
Mrs. Landry was our sponsor, you said, counselor. She was everything.
Yeah. She founded the camp in 1924, which would make it 100 years old.
She was funny. She had a sense of humor about herself. She liked to educate. And
we had high ideals.
Yes.
Maddie Landry played a big, important part in my life. She helped me to get a scholarship at Prairie View in Texas. I graduated from Prairie View because of her.
She wanted to have us improve on ourselves.
She gave us confidence because, you know, she would lift your self-esteem. She made things fun.
She did her very best to take care of us. Did a lot for girls. We would walk from school over to the place where we had meetings.
Well, we used to meet here.
This was
once
our
a week.
headquarters.
Yeah.
We used to meet here once a week.
And we had discussions about ourselves.
Grooming
and caring for ourselves. You know, how to teach
Etiquette.
black girls to
Etiquette.
be ladies.
Correct. We would try to emulate Gussie and Chap.
Yeah.
The big sister
The
approach.
big sister approach.
We taught the children what's important about dress, make sure their hair and things were combed. The senior girls would come into their cabin and make sure everything was all right.
The smaller groups that were elementary level, they were referred to as bluebirds.
Yes, that's right.
And then,
Bluebirds.
yes,
I didn't think about that.
And of course, we had the fire makers, the wood gatherers, and we as seniors were called the torch bearers. And so we made the newspaper.
Here are your torch bearers. I think this must be me. It looks like me. There's Gaynell. This is what some of the cabins look like.
Our cabin had 4 bunk beds. They were very high. You had to take a leap to get in them. And we had windows that they were like shutters. You had to let them up. We didn't have glass windows.
And we had the tin tubs, and we had to heat the water in the tea kettle and pour the water into our tub. There was no running water. No.
It was rough, but it was nice. We didn't mind it. Being away from home and being amongst our friends, we enjoyed that, you know, because we could talk about things and laugh and everything. They had a a station, KTSA or something like that. And late at night, it would turn into music that we liked. And we would lay there and listen to music and sing and talk. And when it came time, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, they wanted to feed us breakfast. We wanted to stay in bed. Hating to get up in the morning because we've been up all night long talking.
Oh, we had so much fun. It was the joy of my life.
1964, the camp was closed.
If I recall, she still had the group at that time, but she didn't have it going to the camp.
Exactly, they were still meeting.
They were still meeting, but they weren't going to the camp.
That's right, I remember
they were
that.
meeting here.
And we're so busy coming down those steps carefully.
I tell you, I remember these steps.
Right.
Lord have mercy.
Telling you.
This is what I remember.
Okay, all right.
And boy, we used to run up there.
I know. These are the steps in which organizations,
sororities, fraternities, clubs, social clubs, Greeks, all of those.
All the professional groups would come here and meet and take pictures. Because these were the grand steps, including the camp.
Yes,
including us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dream.
That's exactly what it was.
Really a dream.
A big dream.
These are for how many times you've been to camp, and I've been to camp since it opened back up, so I get 3 stars.
Camp Founder Girls is our largest, most historic camp, and we were honored to revive Camp Founder Girls in 2019 and bring it back to life. For our youth to step into this powerful legacy of saying, as a young black girl, hey, black girls just like you from the same neighborhood as you were experiencing the same thing 60, 70 years ago, and you're stepping into that legacy was so powerful. And I believe in the power of bringing things back to life, and we learn that from nature, right? We see new growth, new things growing out of the ground. It was very symbolic of our relationship to nature to say we want to recultivate these deep roots in our community for young black girls.
All right, can y'all look at this camera and say, like...
I've been telling people I am a part of a camp where black girls can be free. They can be them. They don't have to sugarcoat anything. I'm their auntie, so I don't have no filters. Well, I do have a certain, you have to have a certain amount of filter.
Back in the fall of 2018, as we were getting ready to start Black Outside Inc., I was watching a documentary called A Walk on the River about the local San Antonio Black history. I saw this 5-minute segment, and they said, oh yeah, the first summer camp for black girls started in San Antonio. And I was like, wait, what? And I saw this woman by the name of Mrs. Gaynell Gaynor, and she was being interviewed, and I wrote down the church that she was a part of.
I was approached by Alex Bailey. You all don't know this, but he came to St. Paul.
And I sat next to her and I told her that we were trying to start this organization called Black Outside Inc. And as part of it, we would love the opportunity to revive Camp Founder Girls and bring it back to life. And immediately she started tearing up, and she told me these beautiful stories of summer camp and how powerful it was for her, how impactful it was for girls in her neighborhood and her church.
I am a member of St. Paul United Methodist Church. I have been since I was about 6 or 7 years old. Mrs. Gaynor was the one who was the original camper. She came to me and she was like, what are you doing this summer? And I was like, preparing for college. And she was like, well, we have this camp. It's called Camp Founder Girls. I was a camper, all these years ago, and a lot of the founding members are from the church, and we actually have the Elvira Wilson, the original name of the campgrounds that are out in Bernie, Texas. And so this church was really a staple for many things, but especially the camp. I felt like this was my chance to be a part of the legacy that they already have. I was just really excited to be a part of that type of history.
There are people today, when they hear the word Camp Fire Girls, they know that it was an organization that was predominantly white. And while Maddie Landry did try to have her group join with the Camp Fire Girls, they would not allow African American girls to join with their organization. And this is why she stepped out on faith and decided she was going to
Have her
own group. And that's why she called us the Camp Founders.
And really,
organization.
we were the camp founders.
Really?
Yeah.
We have a majority of campers that this is their first camp experience. This is their first time outdoors. A lot of folks that come from inner cities or urban areas. And so the access to just simple parks is limited.
At Black Outside, we believe there should be no barriers to any youth experiencing the outdoors, especially summer camp. So families are able to pay as much as they're able to, and then we commit to fundraising and covering the rest. So with that, we get families that come from more lower socioeconomic means, and then we have families that are more affluent means and fly their campers in from different states. We have a joke about it being like a Wakanda call that goes out. Youth coming from urban areas, rural areas, cities, small towns, suburban areas, which makes camp a really enriching experience for young Black girls.
We often hear the stereotype of, Black people don't go outside, there's dirt out there, there's bugs out there, we don't do all that. And I think overcoming that is reminding and talking about the history of nature and the history of Black people in this country. Our mission is not to connect youth to the outdoors, we're reconnecting youth to the outdoors. It's a history that has been severed. Restrictions on what we can access, restrictions to land, restrictions to parks, restrictions to summer camps. Like, there are so many things that have been denied to Black people throughout history that has created this narrative that Black people don't belong outdoors or that's not a space for us.
I remember being in camp, and one night they were throwing bottles, firecrackers or something like this, trying to frighten us while we in camp. And one of the ladies that was there, I think she was a cook or something, she came over to the cabin and she said, "Don't give in. Keep playing your music, keep reading, keep doing whatever you're doing, and ignore it." All of that harassment that was trying to get to us. And I remember one time when they took the station wagon down the long road coming into camp, they found firecrackers and things like this out there, on the road coming in, yes.
They get joy out of teasing and belittling and all those kind of things. And so you have to get, well, like she said, be tough, and ignore. So we were really taught to ignore a lot of things.
We want our youth to be their full, authentic selves in the outdoors. And if that means them playing R&B music, if that means them chanting, if that means them having fun, we don't want to put barriers on their Black joy, right? And so we've had experiences in the past where we've taken our campers and some of our camp founder girls to different camps, and they said, "Oh, well, you're being too loud," or "Why are y'all playing loud music?" That's how they should experience life. They deserve that freedom, right? And especially in nature spaces that they haven't had equitable access to.
So we still have the summer camp aspect. They do the archery, they do the horseback riding, all of that, but being able to get people out of their comfort zones and have conversations about what it means to be a Black girl growing up in America and what it means to stand in your truth. I don't think that there's a program that's having that type of intentional conversation with young Black girls.
The most important thing that I learned about myself is that I'm loud and I'm proud to be loud. Period.
I'm usually a very shy and reserved person outside of CFG, and I always try to stay composed and not laugh too much or be too loud. But once I'm at CFG, I'm able to I feel like I can actually use my voice and just laugh as loud as I want to, and really just have fun and let loose.
When I was younger, there wasn't a lot of people who looked like me or had hair like me. Then when I was in 3rd grade, I was low-key made fun of for being Black, so that did not help at all. But then coming to camp, being around people who valued me for just being me and being around people who lifted me up every day, it really helped me come out of my shell. That kind of ate.
The spaces that Camp Founder Girls creates are so critical for our youth. There are so many things in this world that can make a young Black girl feel less than. So to be able to go to somewhere where she has Black women and young Black girls just pouring everything into her is so invaluable. We see such great alignment between Procter & Gamble and Camp Founder Girls. The pillars of Camp Founder Girls are brave, confident, creative, and strong. And if those aren't the words that define Black Girl Magic, I don't know what does. And I love the fact that they really embody our My Black is Beautiful hair care brand. We partnered in this initiative with Walmart. So both inside and outside of the stores, Walmart has helped us to drive awareness about the camp and about the amazing impact that it has on young girls. We also do things like provide financial support to the camp. We donated products, personal care products, so that the girls could execute self-care while they're at the camp. And we've even done things like bring in a hairstylist to help them learn how to care for their hair. They are more confident at their age than I could have ever have dreamt to be. And it really does show you how impactful Camp Founder Girls is.
Right now, I am 13 years old, and I started going when I was 10 years old.
We started together. We were a counselor camper. It was important for me to have my girls attend camp. The way I grew up, parents were working class people, and they were always about, hey, we want you to, do better than we did. We want to make sure we're in the best neighborhoods with the best schools. But, it comes at a cost. Sometimes you can do a disservice to your kids because you kind of remove them from some of the essential elements of the culture. I thought this was an opportunity to kind of make that right.
Learned that I've been combing my hair wrong this whole time. My hair was all messy, and I didn't know how to deal with it properly yet. And this girl's like, you need some help? Because we had same hair textures, and this is the first time anybody would actually know how to help me with my hair, because usually my friends didn't know how to do with it because all their hair was straight. That was a big awakening.
The young lady, we called her name Algerita Ray.
Yes.
She tore up a paper bag one time, and she just had these strips. And she took the strips and she started twirling them and twirling them and twirling them. I said, what you gonna do with those? She says, I'm gonna roll my hair up with it.
That's true.
I never knew you could roll your hair up on a paper bag.
And you'd pull it out and you'd have
have
nice
Shirley Temple
curls. You sure
we
did.
We all had Shirley Temple curls.
Yes, we did.
It's so important that our youth see themselves in these spaces and see themselves in this history and interact with living history. And Mrs. Gaynor is a walking example of that. Every year for camp, we start off by bringing Mrs. Gaynor the first day to open our space in a very sacred way. She tells each of our campers the story and the history of Camp Founder Girls. We also joke with our campers that 50 years from now, 60 years from now, you're gonna be the Mrs. Gaynor, telling the next set of Camp Founder Girls about the history of what came before you, that we've been here and that we're going to continue to be here, and that they are also the future stewards of this sacred legacy of Camp Founder Girls.
My hope for Camp Founder Girls is really that they are able to expand and that they continue to exist. 100 years is a great legacy, and there are so many girls out there that could benefit from what the camp provides. So my hope is really just persistence and perseverance to make the camp as big and as impactful as it possibly can be.
Camp Founder Girls was started in
1924.
Camp Founder Girls was started in 1924. Really?
Sorry, I had to look at my shirt real quick.
2024 is the current year that we are in.
100-year anniversary.
Oh my gosh, it's a 100-year anniversary.
We should have a party.
Special celebration. It is our 100th year of CFG. Make some noise. My hope and my dream, as I think for the future, is creating a whole movement around Camp Founder Girls. Camp Founder Girl will be with them forever.
So would it be like the reverse time flash? So what if it keeps going on till 3024? I hope it doesn't lose its outsideness and technology takes over when the AI overthrows us.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes. Sorry. Being a camper at CFG, which is one of the first Black camps in our country, is like an experience that you'll hopefully get to pass down if this thing keeps going. I'm really hoping it does. There'll be a slim chance to have children. If they do, I'll send them here for a camp.
Being here at like the original site of CFG is like a full circle moment from like originally it was started here and then the revival and then being able to come back here now. Like it just feels really nice.
I feel like I know this place, like I've been here before, like I'm in a reincarnation of somebody that went here. Like, no, I'm being so serious. I'm being serious.
Our history has something to teach the generation coming behind us.
I think it's more important now than ever, since they're trying to erase the history of the Black race in this day and time. It would be beneficial to keep our legacy alive. And I think that's very, very important to our children, grandchildren, and their children, so that they will know from whence they came.
I think today more than ever, the work of Camp Founder Girls is needed and necessary. And we see all the time around the country that being proud and honoring and talking about Black history is being stripped away day by day, school by school, state by state. We want our girls to know that they should be loud and proud about who they are. We are told that, this is not a youth question, youth don't know anything, this is an adult thing. We want to shield them or protect them, but they're already aware. They've already had experiences with racism as children. And so knowing that we have a space that acknowledges their Blackness, acknowledges that they should be proud of it, is something that's revolutionary. Which is crazy to say that in 2024, something as simple as being proud of being Black is so revolutionary, but it is. It was transformative back then with Maddie Landry and being a trailblazer, but it means just as much today because these spaces are few and far between and are actively being campaigned to be taken away.
Look at that foundation. It's got the nice rectangular shape. That's about the size of a cabin, ladies, look, and gentlemen, because each cabin had about 4 beds in them. Okay, we had the bunk beds. And so when you think about housing us, that would easily house about 4 beds. Strong foundation.
Yeah, still standing.
Of course, over time, the trees have grown over that area, and then there's the tin roof part of it. I'm just surprised it's still here.
The story of how we found out about this camp and the original land was kind of a work of destiny. Maddie Landry had sold it. We knew that the I-10 was built, so we assumed that it had just been built through and that there was no original land still.
This is a plaque, of course, that came from Camp Founder Girls. How my father-in-law explains it is that one time it was a horrible storm, probably in the early 2000s. You can see where the tree split. And it had everything just kind of tossed up from the ground. And when he came out, he found this piece broken up into like 3 parts, where you can see right here, that line. And so when he looked at it, he said, Camp Founder Girls. 2021, 2022, my mother-in-law passed away. And I think part of his grieving process, he began to look at death a lot more. And then he's just like, I don't want to leave here without really knowing what was on this ground, who these girls were, what was it? And he was just adamant about it. So in 2022, Tracy, will you please find out? I want you to do all the research. I want you to find out what you can. So that's what brought me to you.
I get an email that comes in to my inbox. And I open it up and it says, "Hi, we're the owners of the original campsite for Camp Founder Girls." And my jaw hit the floor.
You'll notice that it says tree dedicated April 17th, 1944. And then I came on board as a Camp Founder Girl 10 years later, 1954. And then what really sealed the deal for me, Camp Founders with the S, as we saw it originally, girls, and the founder, Mrs. Maddie Landry. San Antonio, Texas, my eyes really sparked when I looked at that. So you can see TEX, it was torn off, broken off. But this is very, very profound for me to be able to see this. Because this land was purchased in 1941 by Maddie Landry.
I'm personally inspired by Mrs. Maddie Landry. It's the reason why this year we really wanted to be intentional about finding and cultivating our own land space. I had a thought in my head about 2 years ago where I said, why don't we have our own land space? We're like, what's actually holding us back from trying to pursue this? And I realized, wait a second, Mrs. Landry did this 90 plus years ago as a Black woman in Texas. Why not us? What is really holding us back?
Each summer, we've been at different locations, shopping around. Hey, are you available? Hey, is this weekend? Can we book y'all? And that hassle of what it takes to not own the land that we're trying to have a summer camp at. This idea of land ownership, I think, is extra powerful because for generations, so many Black people have not been able to have that right or have that privilege of owning land and being able to have something of their own that they can pass on, that they can cultivate, and that's something that's been missing and has been stolen from Black people in the South. What does it mean to not only own the land, but use it in a way that brings recognition to ancestors? I think there's a deeper, a richer history of what it means to pay homage. Land is healing, nature is healing, and all of that can happen when we have our own space. And expand what camp is. Right now it's 1 week, but we want to have longer sessions and provide this experience to more and more girls.
I see 50, 60 years from now, a Camp Founder Girls on the West Coast, Camp Founder Girls on the East Coast, Camp Founder Girls in the Midwest, with the same model that every child deserves equitable access to the outdoors. There should not be any barriers to youth experiencing summer camp, and that Black girls across the country can see themselves in these powerful spaces and see that they've been here. Because we're going to continue to challenge the narrative that Black folks haven't been in these spaces, that Black folks don't go outside, because that's the narrative that's told to our kids, but that's not the truth of the history. When we open up our books, when we open up our minds, and when we open up our ears to what our elders and what the land has told us. What does the future of our planet look like? What does the future of the land look like? What does the future of our climate look like? Black youth deserve seats at the table. They deserve the opportunity to create their own tables.
I am deeply motivated to see this next wave of youth that are unapologetically who they are and don't have to go through the trials and tribulations of figuring that out later in life. They don't need an invite, right, because the table's already ready for them. And so they need to just come kicking down the doors, and it brings me so much joy and reassurance and hope for the future when sometimes hope for the future seems slim. They're gonna change the world, and I'm so ready to see it.
Thank you to our Queen Collective filmmakers for bringing these stories to life. Let's keep working together to tell our stories and celebrate the culture that surrounds them. Please visit pg.com/Queen Collective to learn more about these creators, as well as explore opportunities for yourself. Thanks for watching.